All right. Welcome to the Arrogant Witch YouTube show. I am Witch Naima, and I am in the business of helping magical melanin witches, healers, and other supernatural beings come out of isolation and hiding and into full power, do the work that they were born for, get paid well doing it, and live bone deep fulfillment. The doors to the Arrogant Witch community open September 20th, and the Arrogant Witch community is a year-long pioneer community where magical melanin witches, healers, natural beings have the time and space. It's a year-long pioneering community where you have the time, space, and alchemical support to come out of hiding to actually be who you really are. And it's a process. And so doors to that open September 20th. Make sure you're on the email community to receive those details. And you'll click the link under the YouTube video, and that link will be here today sometime for you to click the link and make sure you're in the email community. And if you're on Facebook, the link will be placed there as well. So that's September 20th, the doors open. Okay, there's an application process, and that's that. Also, so today's topic, before I go into today's topic, which is the anatomy of a quantum leap, which is the how of a quantum leap. Before I get into that, we also have our expensive healer course, folks. I'm really excited about that. Folks are really excited about that. And it's an 8-week premium live course, meaning I'm involved, okay? And it's specifically to help witches, healers, and other supernatural beings become really comfortable with money, with visibility, with doing the work that you came here for, with telling the truth, with marketing your services, packaging your services, reaching your people, discovering what's in your lived experience that uniquely qualifies you to do what you do. Okay, what's in your lived experience. And so there's actually a free training this coming Wednesday, and it's called Expensive Healer. And the link to that will also be placed beneath this video today. Okay. The course starts September 15th, and the training is happening this coming Wednesday. Okay. So, the anatomy of a quantum leap. So, I actually have some notes here because it's very detailed, it's very nuanced, it's very personal. And before I go any further into this how to, this is what you must know first. Okay. And actually, let me look at something real quick because I'm streaming from YouTube for the first time in a long time. So I don't know how I can see things. Excuse me, Facebook. I'm trying to figure out the hell. Okay, I can see. All good. Okay, very good. Let me fix. Okay. Um, I have said here repeatedly, and I'll probably continue to say it because people forget. Over here in the world of Arrogant Witch, we deal in full power. Okay. Full power is a power that most people do not want. Okay. It requires impeccable standards. It's a very tall order. It's a very large responsibility. It requires making difficult decisions or decisions that at first hurt and feel uncomfortable. It requires essentially a life of discomfort. Um, and so, my teaching and the way that I guide, the way that I support is always that way. Okay. That which is of high responsibility, high standards, impeccable standards, requirements, difficult decisions, etc. Why? One, because it works. Two, because to live in this world where you just got problems everywhere, war and disease and your own thoughts, never mind what's going on out in the world. How about what's going on in your own head? Okay. How you view yourself, what you got going on with your family, with your husband, with your with your parents, with your own body, with your own feelings, with your goals, with your heart, with your future. I'd be like, how about that before we even get into what's going on with Afghanistan and with COVID and with the floods in New York and, you know what I mean? Ida, and right before all that, right? To be able to be bigger than, okay, to be able to engage with the shit show, which is living on this planet, right? And to actually create the life of your dreams, to actually create the money that your heart's desire require, to actually be able to move around the world where all the ugliness and the filth and the division and the negativity and the, right, to be able to navigate all that successfully, right, and create what is required of it requires impeccable standards. That's number two. Number three, for those of us who genuinely have it in our DNA, not those of us who we get high reading spiritual books and we feel special. Like I'm the sky and the sun and the moon. And I just read this book and I just resonated with it so much. And I'm a spiritual, powerful, okay, but they're unable to create, right? The proof of you being a star seed, the proof of you being a supernatural being, the proof of you being the sky and a goddess and a supreme being is evidenced in what you're able to create in this dense world. To be able to do that requires that you tap into dimensions that are unseen. It requires that you become immensely intimate with the truth and to live the truth. It requires that you follow the instruction of dimension that is in this world, but not of this world. Like, this is not Instagram pretty stuff. This ain't cute, bad bitch shit. To create something that does not yet exist in your reality. To go from $50,000 a year to six figures in a year. To go from wanting a healing center and wanting to sell your vegan handmade products all over the world to actually selling your vegan handmade products all over the world. To actually go from, oh my God, oh my God, for so long, oh my God, I know I'm meant for this. Like, oh my God, I know it. My family don't understand me. They think I'm crazy. Oh my God, my husband, they don't understand. To actually creating, to actually having the money, having the reality, having the thing requires that you do things that are not of the mortal brain, requires that you think in ways that are not of your brain. Because your brain will say to you, girl, you ain't never did that before. Who you think you is? People will say to you, well, now it's not the time. There's floods. Unemployment is at an all-time high. COVID has ravished the world. People are struggling. Like that's what the mortal brain will say to you when you have the audacity to go to create your first $10,000 month. It's going to say, who's going to pay for that? It's going to say, you haven't even charged $1,000. What makes you think you can charge 2 or 5? It's going to say, now's not the time. It's going to say, you're tired. You just can't. Not right now. Later. Let's do it next month. Let's do it maybe Christmas. Maybe 2022. Let me do all this other stuff first. That's what the mortal mind is going to do. The dimensions that are of the unseen, that's influencing everything all the time. You could call it heaven. You could call it higher degrees, higher dimensions. You can call it God. Whatever you want to call it. Those dimensions exist all the time, everywhere, all the time, everywhere, all the time, everywhere. all the time, no matter where you are on the planet, the unseen infinite, okay, the unseen infinite exists all the time, everywhere. There are those who tap into it and those who don't. There are those who tap into it and those who are controlled by the grips of what their life has looked like for the last 42 years, what their life has looked like for the past 35 years, what their life has looked like for the past 50 years. The grip of that holds most people, which is why they cannot quantum leap. So it's important that you know that, because in order for you to actually do and implement what I'm getting ready to share, you need to know what you're signing up for. Okay. And I'm happy to take your questions. You can just post them and I'll come around. Okay. So for those of you who have made it this far, right, who are here for the first time, I built a 7-figure company in under 4 years, and I started with $7 in my bank account on my mother's couch. Okay. So I know what it looks like to quantum. I know what it looks like to be frustrated and pissed off, knowing that you have a lot to offer. And yet, for some reason, I just can't figure this out. Like, I want this so bad, but what is going on? And if I knew what to do, I would have done it by now. How many of you have thought that? If I knew what to do, I would have done it by now. I'm smart, I'm capable, I'm competent, but how am I here at this house? How? What is going on here? Mad at God. Okay, so let me define quantum first. What is a quantum leap? Quantum is the collapsing of time and space to create a reality that normally takes a longer amount of time. Okay, so for example, if I were to ask you, you watching me, if I were to ask you, how long do you think that it would take you to make $100,000 selling your healing and transformational services, what would you say? Just answer it right now, quietly to yourself. How long, genuinely, just take a moment, think about it. You selling your transformational services at the price, and you can make up a price right now if you're unclear on the price, but if you have a price already, just imagine. But how long do I think it would take me to sell that many of my packages, that many of my courses, that many of my whatever, that many of my VIP days, that many of my in person? How long do I think it would take me to make $100,000? Let's say you're like, oh, I think it would take me 8 months. Oh, I think it would take me a year. Right? 8 months, a year, 18 months, right? And you may have heard this before, so this could be repetition for you, but repetition helps. Now, what if you could take, let's say you thought it would take you 8 months to create $100,000. What if in a quantum leap, I told you you could do it in 90 days? With a quantum leap, 90 days. That's what quantum leaping is. It's going from where you are here to a whole new reality very quickly. So have you seen those YouTube or whatever social media videos where a person is right here, like a travel video, and they're like in their living room right here, and then they jump and then they land on the beach in the Caribbean? You guys have seen those? That's like a really good practical example of what quantum leaping looks like. You're here, and you leap and you land in a whole new reality very quickly. That's what quantum leaping is. So in this instance, I like to use money as an example. So let's say you're currently making $2,000 a month. Okay. And you like to go to, a leap, to me, a leap is real big. So let's say you want to go to $10,000 a month. You want to go from $2,000 a month to $10,000 a month in the next 60 days. Now, first of all, okay, here's the beginning of the process that I'm getting ready to share with you. Here's the beginning. What do you think in your mind when I say that? See, right now you're watching me on a video, so it's easy to sort of relax around this process. But if we were literally on a phone having a session actually preparing you to have $10,000 within the next 60 days and to make that a recurring normal thing for you, you would be having thoughts and feelings. So I want to create a simulation here where we pretend that we're on the phone and you said, okay, you just fill in the number. What is the number that you're making right now, whether you're making it through your business or not? How much do you make a month right now? Okay, this. Now I want to make $10,000. And this is a genuine desire because I'm getting ready. I'm going to lay it out. The genuine desire is $10,000 a month because I know it's important for me to be able to live in Costa Rica, and it's going to cost me about $2,000 a month to live there. I know I need to move my boxes across, ship my boxes. That's going to cost me about $800. I want to pay my mom's mortgage this month. That's going to cost $1,500. Right, like you've done the math and you're very excited about where this $10,000 is going to go, right? What are your genuine, and your job is to go market your services on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you're active, and start selling your services. Okay, it's time for you to do video. It's time for you to price your packages appropriately. It's time for you to invite people into a phone call. It's time for you to connect with people, send people invoices. And your goal is $10,000 in the next 60 days. What's your genuine thought and feeling about that? If you're confident enough, put it in the chat. Even if you're watching as a replay, you can put it in the chat, okay? And let's go through this process, okay? So let me go over to my notes. Give me a minute. All right. So let's say you got your numbers, right? Now, here is the process for a quantum leap. You probably should write this down, or you can come back later and write it down. What is the genuine desire, the financial desire? Now, obviously, if you have something else that's really important to you, fill it in, right? Maybe it's really important to you to lose 20 pounds. Maybe it's really important to you that by Christmas, you're in a new apartment in Paris. Whatever it is, what is the genuine desire? Somebody put 50,000 in the chat, right? Now, the reason why I talked about where the money is going to go, and I talk about this exact same thing in the training that I'm leading this Wednesday. It's called Expensive Healer. The link is going to be beneath this video sometime today. And the Expensive Healer course is specifically to focus on you making the money while you're in the course. Anyway, so when you know where the money is going to go, you start to trigger genuine sensations in you, the actual sensations that you need to manifest. When you create these random numbers, 50,000, because that just sounds exciting. Oh my God. Because the ego is very inflamed. The ego is very inflamed. It loves to make up these big circus things to get, How many times have you done that? Oh, girl, yes, I want to make $1 million this year. Mm-hmm. But when it's time to put a $10,000 package together, she can't, right? This is what I mean by the ego, right? So for the person who put 50,000 here, where is the 50,000 going? That's when I said earlier, you get excited because I'm going to Costa Rica. My rent, my expenses are $2,500. I want to pay my mom's mortgage. I'm excited to do that. That's $1,500. I want to, ship my stuff from wherever I live to Costa Rica. That's going to cost $800. And these things excite you, right? So it's really important that it's an exciting desire. Typically, people are not excited to pay off debt. People are like, well, I need to pay off debt. And maybe, but in my experience, and this is a very important addendum right here. When you go for the big things, the things that to you are a lot of money, when you go for those, the smaller things take care of themselves typically, right? Because you're going for larger amounts of money. So you bring in larger amounts of money, which makes it very easy to take care of these little things. And the excitement is typically on the bigger thing. So number one, in this anatomy of a quantum leap, what is the genuine desire? What is it? Write it down. Be clear about it. Now, I'm going to really condense today because I could be here a long time. Like, we go into this very deeply in the course because desire, we could spend so much time on desire alone. Right? Well, my desire is to pay off my debt. And then when we start digging into it, your desire is not to pay off your debt. You want to pay off the debt because you want a feeling that comes with paying off that debt. And you can create that feeling with the debt still being there. Whoa, magic. What? All right. Again, that's an addendum. I'm going to leave that over there. Come to the training on Wednesday. So, number one, what's the genuine desire? Now, you got to dig into that. Like, the for real. Okay. Is it to live somewhere? Like, for real, for real. Do you want somebody to come wake you up 5 days a week and help you work out? Open your curtains, help you work out, right? You want somebody to cook your meals 3 days a week? You want somebody to do your laundry? Like, get into the most exciting selfish desire. So that's number one. Write it down. Number two, you decide that it's yours. Now, women have gotten, at a distance, they've gotten very, like, rolling their eyes. What do you mean decide that is mine? But just decide, because I would tell them, just decide. Just, and when you're in poverty consciousness, like if you say to someone who's in poverty, just decide you're not going to be in poverty anymore. Bitch, get that shit up out of here. Right? But that's actually how it works. And because people are averse to decisions and simplicity of making a decision, they avoid it. It's still, you make a decision. So what do I mean by decide that it's yours? So you may or may not have heard me talk about a daemonic, depending on which version you want to use, a demonic desire. What do I mean by demonic desire? I mean the desire that is of your wholeness, right? It is of your wholeness, which means it is divine. By the way, demon means divine. I know Christianity has raped us, most of us, of our connection to divinity, but demon means divine. Go look it up. And the original spelling is actually Daemon. Go look it up. So, your demonic desire is actually beyond all the material stuff. It's beyond your dream house and living in Paris and right? But most people are not connected enough to tap in at that level. So we start with the things that flits them, right? Now, if you're at the level where you can tap into like what you were literally born for, right? Because when you start tapping into what you're literally born for, that has a communication that kills everything. It murders fear, it just, all of this shit that people be tired and walking around. What, girl, the thing that you were born for slices the throat and eats all of that. Most people are still too dense though to tap in at that level. They still don't really believe. They're still like really tapped into fear and what other people think, and they're tired and they're gripped by what the world is doing. And so to go from that to really tapping into what they were born for, most people ain't ready for that. So we're tapping into these other things that make you feel mortal things, like, oh, my dream house and money and moving to Paris and buying land in Ghana and like that kind of a thing, right? And the thing that you were born for is of a whole other frequency. Okay. So you decide that it's yours. You decide that the land in Ghana is yours. You decide that going from where you are to having two houses or being able to live, travel without looking at the price tag, to be able to whatever it is, right? Let me look at these comments real quick. Healing and building a village where conscious living, right? So rebuilding the family structure in the home, 1 trillion needed. So thank you for sharing, you guys. And this is very common. Like, people have these large goals, like these large right? The ego loves to do this. The ego loves to, oh, mm. But then when it comes time to actually make the decision, to get gritty, to own your demonic self, and to wield him or her out into the world, that's where people disappear. And everything that came out of their mouth, they realize, oh wow, there's actually responsibility tied to this. There's actually decisions tied to this. You see. So anyway, I'm gonna keep it moving. This is the anatomy of a quantum leap. Move with it, okay? So number two, decide. So number one, I already said, what's the genuine desire? Number two, decide is yours. Number three, look at your current energy levels. Now, I've shared the story here many times about how I went from um, I had never made more than 10,000 in a month, and I went from that to a $65,000 client. And I've shared that story here countless times. And repeatedly, though, in other times where I've leaped, where I was at, what was I, like $500 a month in my services, and then I went up to, at the time it felt big, I went up to 750, and then I went up to 1,000, then I went up to 2,000 a month for my services. And even since, because that $65,000 client was in 2015, even since then, going up to $100,000, like the leaping, the work that's required, the alchemy that's required, the truth telling that's required, the discomfort that's required. Um, all of these things take energy. It's so look at your current energy levels. Someone here says something about $1 trillion is needed. That's a lot of fucking energy, right? Not necessarily energy that you're going to be expending, but it's going to take energy for you to hire the team, for you to have somebody look over the team, for you to be able to withstand the deep, wide, high, intense responsibility of having all these team members and people that are involved in making the thing happen. And this is for everybody, no matter the dollar amount, no matter what it is, it requires energy. And I remember when I was just so exhausted and tired of being tired, and on my mom's couch, tired of being tired, it felt very difficult to make a large energetic decision, a very large energetic decision, right? Because when you decide that you're going to create 50,000 in the next 60 days, that's an energy. The energy that's going to be required for you to focus on, okay, I got to hire these 3 people. And then, okay, so what avenues am I going to use to hire them? Okay, then those people need to be trained. And then who's going to oversee those people? Am I going to oversee them, or is somebody else going to oversee them? That's energy. Okay, how much are they going to be paid? You see what I mean? Who, right, all those details, right? Okay, we're going to change the family structure. Okay, what's going to be my responsibility? What's going to be his and her and his responsibility, right? How are we going to do this together as a team? Okay, let's have a meeting. Okay, so we've had this meeting and these are the agreements. What is everybody doing? How do we keep each other accountable? How do we nourish the relationship? What do we agree to do on a weekly or a monthly basis? Like, look at your energy levels right now. Are you willing? Okay, and let me look at my notes here because I put some specific things here. What zaps your energy and what gives you more energy? What zaps your energy and what gives you more energy? This is the anatomy of a quantum leap. Write this stuff down. Well, I noticed that when I go have lunch on the water, I feel energized afterwards. Okay, so let's do that more. Should I start working on the water? I notice when I talk to these particular people, or I do this admin work, or this person in my life, I just feel less energetic with this person in my life. I notice that when I wear red, I feel energized. I notice that when I do this, I notice that this job, I just feel so depleted after working on this job. Okay, so can I do less of that job, right? What's required of me to leave this job, right? Because knowing that you're leaving and you're excited about the thing you're leaving it for can energize you to transition up out of the job. So look at what zaps you and what gives you energy, okay? I have here in capital, you need to monitor your energy, because all of this is energy. Listen to me, as someone who has been in this industry for a decade. I came into this coaching transformation space and got my first paying clients in November of 2011. Actually, I think it was October. I sold a group thing, and then out of that group, I started doing private. Okay. That was in November of 2011. I have been working in this industry for a decade. And what I can tell you, as someone who's been in this industry, everybody thinks that it's doing a bunch of stuff. Go market. Oh my God, go get your reels. Reels is popular right now. Make sure you get your reels on Instagram, because that's what Instagram is liking right now. Snapchat and whatever is that's where you go. You do your videos, do your whatever, make sure you do your regular Instagram lives and all that. And you could have $1 million marketing plan, doing all your marketing sections, and you will have results. But I'm telling you, first of all, it will be a hell of a lot harder, and it will require a hell of a lot of more physical work when your energy is not together. So you monitor what zaps you and what takes your energy away. It's very, very important. All right. So number one, what's the genuine desire? Be clear. Number two, decide that it's yours. Number three, look at your current energy levels. Number four, you start taking whatever action is necessary for you to have the thing. Okay. So in this instance, we're talking about money. So I'm going to talk from the perspective of a healer, transformational person selling their services. So, all right. So I need to get some help. How? Because I don't know how to package. I don't know how to price. I don't know what's the way to market. I mean, I have a very small following. I don't think the people who are in my network are going to buy from me, because, they're friends and family, and I don't see that as my ideal client, right? And keep in mind, all the action that you are taking now is because you've already tapped the genuine desire and you've decided that it's yours. Because when you decide that it's yours, nothing stops you after that. Okay. So you start taking the action. So what is that action? You decide what that action is. Do you need help? If you need help, then you need to come inside the course. You need to start do something. Get your research going. Do whatever you need to do to reach your numbers. You start setting goals. Okay, my goal is $50,000 in the next 60 days. Okay, what is required of me to sell? How many packages do I need to sell? What's the price of my packages? What kind of marketing am I going to do? Who am I even talking to? Who's my ideal client? Where's the place for me to market? All that. This is all the how-to stuff. Now, this right here is masculine work. Everything else that I just talked about prior to is very feminine. What's the genuine desire? My decision is very masculine. Deciding that it's yours is still all mental. Look at your energy levels. This is a very feminine thing. Looking at what energizes you, what depletes you. Once you decide it's yours and you've assessed where you are and what the desire is, then you start taking masculine action. What are my numbers? Okay, this is my date. The date is by November 15th. My goal is 50,000. Okay, so my package, I'm going to have 3 different packages. One package is going to be 5,000. Another one is going to be 2,500, and this one is going to be 1,000. Okay, so I need to sell 5 of these to get to this. And this, I'm really excited about this. So I would really like to sell 10 of these packages. Okay, so this will give me this. Oh, I can just sell 10 of these, and this will give me my $50,000. Okay, now let me go. It's time for me to start marketing. Okay, where am I going to market? It's going to be Instagram. That's where I am, and then Facebook. Okay, now I'm gonna write down a list of people who I really think could benefit from this, and then I'm gonna contact those people with a quick little message, see who wants to hop on the phone. Let me make sure I got my payment links together, and then getting on the phone with the right people, because I'm assessing them, because I know how to assess who to get on the phone with and who will waste my time. Get on the phone with the right people, have my payment links ready on my 10. Okay, then in keeping moving forward. Right now, okay, all that is very business stuff. Business structure, masculine stuff, right? That has nothing to do with, that has little to do with quantum leaping. Everybody working who ain't trying to go for a so that's what I mean by that has very little significance. In this process, the thing that's going to have the most gravitational pull in your manifestation is the intensity of that desire. of everything I just said here, and go back and watch the replay, what has the most power is the intensity of the desire. If another variant of COVID can take you out of your energy and out of your desire is not strong enough. If the floods in New York can take you out of your desire and make you start, oh, I can't, it's too much, the world is burning to hell. If the fires in California, if what's going on in Louisiana, if what's going on in Afghanistan, if all of these things can make you feel like, oh, what, this is crazy for me to think that I can do. I'm just tired. I'm sick of this shit. You know what I mean? Maybe you single. I know some folks in the community are single. They tired. They want to get with a man. They're feeling weary about being single, and it's affecting them being able to tap into their desire, the power of that desire, and then being able to manifest. Like, if that stuff has a grip on you and you do not find a way to nurture the fire of that desire, you're not going to be able to create a quantum leap. Now, can you do it? Yeah. Will it take longer? Yeah. Yeah. And you also decrease the chances that you'll even accomplish what it is that you're looking to accomplish. So I'm going to recommend some books that I always recommend. The Science of Getting Rich. Just start with The Science of Getting Rich. It's free. You can download it off the internet. Just go to Google and search The Science of Getting Rich free PDF. Start reading that. The first 10 chapters alone, hell, the first 5 chapters, it's just going to clean up so much in your head. It's just so practical. And in there, he talks about how most people do not, first of all, they're not tapped into their genuine, and that's why I go to your demonic desire. Your demonic desire has a power that just slices through. So many people are afraid to want intensely, afraid to be compelled so much so it's like, it is mine. Oh my God, it's mine. Like, you know what I mean? And when you start getting into your divine, like the thing you were born for, the thing that you're hungry for, the thing that you've always felt like that was yours, the thing that you feel like other people would think you're selfish, other people would think you're greedy, but you know it's always meant to be yours. And then you nurture that desire, and you nurture that desire, and you nurture that desire, and you start producing things that are just like, oh my God, I did that. Do you understand? This is the anatomy of a quantum leap. So the thing that you really want to focus on is what I said at the beginning, getting clear about the genuine desire. And I'm telling you, y'all need to disconnect from this heavy social media consumption. Y'all need to disconnect from just like all the external stimuli that's not feeding your desire. Read things, watch things, like follow, if you're going to be on Instagram and all that, follow accounts that feed your desire for more life, that feed your desire to travel without looking at your bank account, that feed your desire to buy your land and to sell your handmade products in dozens of shops all over the world, that feed you having the healing center and stewarding that and having multiple healing centers and having the perfect staff in there that are serving people all over the world who have beautiful hearts and beautiful minds and healing hands and touching your people well and stewarding your land well. Like, follow things and look at things that nourish that. And I'm telling you, you laser in and you get to the point where I talked about here. No, there's number 4. Or you start taking the masculine action, because the masculine action is not random. It's coming from what you did in the first 3, right? But by the time you get down into that, everything you're doing has so much more force. See, and this way that I'm talking about going about it is such a feeling. It's so sincere. Like, I even have tingles in my legs, even as I'm talking about it. You should have tingles in your bodies as you're moving. Like when you're putting your packages together, doing your Instagram live, marketing your services, putting together your payment links, on sales calls with people, coaching people, mentoring people, healing people, like everything that you did from the desire, knowing where the money is going, deciding that is yours, that should be feeding everything that you're doing. And you start being able to create things very, very quickly. Now, see, the brain cannot handle speed. So you got to learn how to train the brain to handle the speed of a quantum leap, because the brain is going to say, and I'm not going to tell the whole story. I'm just going to tell this little bit of snippet. When I got that $65,000 client, I was living with my mother. When I was in the enrollment call with this client, because she was already a client, when I was on the phone with her sharing this offer, And I was breaking it down. I was like, okay, we're going to have one VIP day a quarter. First of all, what? Your broke ass living with your mama offering somebody a $65,000. That's what the brain does. So you have to train, you have to notice when it does that and be like, oh, that's my brain doing what the brain does. The brain only understands survival. It only understands have a house, have food, have clothes, don't get hit by a car, don't fall out the sky, don't do that. Sweetheart, your brain only knows that. That's all it knows. Every human being, that's all it knows. That's how it functions. That's how it keeps you alive. When you have a pain, the brain says, oh, you have a pain. Fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it. That's what your brain does. So when you start dealing and doing things that are not very of the brain, the quantum is not of the brain. It's not rational. Okay. And so this is why so many people, they look around and they're like, oh my God, the world is dying. There's COVID. Um, People are flooding. People are starving. You have millions of people, children, starving in India and in Thailand. And oh my God, look at how the status of Black people in this country. Oh my God, but Black people ain't got it like that. Like, oh my God, like my mom, we can't even afford my mom's medical bills. Like, oh my God, like this is what the brain does. The brain is like, we can't, what do you think? You don't even have a degree. You never even went to college. You dropped out of high school. What makes you think you're going to sell a $10,000 package? Like, who's going to buy that? Like, that's what the brain does. So you have to learn to see the brain, because it's going to do it. What? And notice that it does it and say, okay, great. I see what you're doing. We're doing quantum work right now. And so you need to get on board with this without trying to be like, oh God, my brain and oh shit. It's going to happen. Just accept that it's going to happen. Whatever. Move on. Okay. So when my brain was doing that, like, oh shit, right? But I have been, like the book I recommended to you, The Science of Getting Rich, I have been reading that voraciously. I have been reading Sacred Success, A Course in Financial Miracles by Barbara Stanny. I tapped into the desire. This is the anatomy of a quantum. I tapped into the desire. The desire was to live in Europe. The desire was really to travel without looking at my bank account. That was the desire, okay? The desire was to be able to shop without looking at my bank account. Like, that was the thing that got me like, ooh, oh my God, right? That's why I say, does it excite you? Does it thrill you? Does it energize you? Will you let yourself have it, right? The only person that can stop you from having it is you, regardless of how people say and think. The only thing that can stop you from having it is you, right? So I got clear about the desire. Then I decided it was mine. Like, this is mine. This is mine. Like, that is a fierce ass energy, isn't it? Will you let yourself feel like that? I'm taking, this is mine. Will you let yourself feel that? Okay. And then I started taking the action. And so when I took the action and created this package and presented it to this client, I remember I was sitting in a car, like dressed like shit, presenting a $65,000 package. Will you let yourself do that? Will you let yourself be contradictory to what the brain is doing? Your brain, your mortal brain is doing this. The quantum is doing something else. The quantum does not care about mortal safety and what's right and what makes sense and what's logical. The quantum is completely idealistic, completely. The quantum will bring down what you can handle. So that's why number 3 was check your energy. Can your energy handle $1 trillion for the person who put it? Can you even handle energetically $1 trillion right now? If some kind of something happened and $1 trillion was wanting to come to you, where would you even house it? Where would you host it? So when I say check your energy levels, that's what I'm talking about. Can you handle what it is that you're trying to call in? Or are you so heavy with all the stuff that you got going on that's keeping you right down here? Will you let go of all this dense stuff so you can make room for the quantum desire that you say that you want. This is the anatomy of a quantum leap. So you must learn to tame the brain because it will disagree with what you're doing. So you need to be able to sit with the fullness, the excitedness of your desire while the brain is doing this. What do you think you're doing? That doesn't make sense. You can't even afford this. You never even pay for this. I don't even, yeah. Who do you think you are? The world is burning down. It's COVID. Nobody has a job. Unemployment is at an all-time high. Right? What is the desire? It is mind, wealth, consciousness. The abundance is always there. The fullness. Read The Science of Getting Rich. It tells you tap into your desire, white hot, nurture that desire over and over and over again. Look at it. How does it make you feel? What is it for? Is it for all? Is it of the all? Is it a benefit to you and others? How does it make you feel? Hold on to it. Keep going. Nurture it. Be in relationship with that. Nurture that. Nurture that. Nurture. This is how you create something very fast that to the brain doesn't make sense for it to be in your reality. Apply it to money. Okay. So let me reiterate this. And I'm going to look at my comments. Number one, what's the genuine desire? Number two, decide that it's yours. Number three, look at your current energy levels. What zaps your energy and what gives you more energy and more life? You need to monitor your energy. Number four, get into the masculine, the masculine action behind it. And that could look different for everybody. It's not the same for everybody. It's depending on what your goal is, because masculine action can simply be a phone call. It could be a series of phone calls. It could be so many different things, but you get into the masculine action of it. And then lastly, you expect it and then you receive it. Okay. Receiving meaning having your payment link set up, whatever you're going to have set up for people to be able to pay you, receive the money into your bank account, look at the money into your bank account, acknowledge the money that's in your bank account, and normalize it on an energetic level. You normalize it at an energetic level by being like, look at what you did. Look at what you did. I see Andrea is here. So Andrea be like, Andrea, look at what you did. You look at your bank account number. Girl, look at what you did. Oh my God, look at what you did. I'm telling you, when I hung up the phone, with that $65,000 client, she paid $35,000 on the phone with a credit card. And then she paid the balance the next day. You guys, to be living with my mom, to be dressing like shit, right? To have never even made more than $10,000 in my business, to even have offered her a year for us to work together. I had never worked with anybody for a year up to that point. To offer her a VIP day every quarter when we were going to be meeting in like Paris and like, what? And that's why I read these books. Science of Getting Rich, Sacred Success, A Course in Financial Miracles, and Think and Grow Rich. When I hung up the phone, because we did the payment over the phone. At that time, I used to take PayPal. So what I would do is I would have payment links ready on the phone with people. And I would tell them, okay, open up your email. I'm getting ready to send you this link. Like if the agreement was for us to move forward, I would be like, okay, I'm getting ready to send you the link to pay. Go ahead and open up your email. What's your email address? And they would give me their email address. I would put it right there, send them the link that I had pre-made before we got on the phone because I knew what my offers were. This is what you're going to learn in my course. You got to know your offers, the benefit to your client of your offer, the pricing of your offers. All that needs to be clear. All right. So you need to enroll for the course. And I want to be offering the course inside of the free training called Expensive Healer this coming Wednesday. The link to register for that will be beneath this video today. Anyway, so I sent her the link. I said, go ahead and take care of that payment. I'm going to wait. Let me know when it's done. This is how I used to do sales calls, okay? And this is what I'm going to teach you to do for those of you who are new at this, because you need to really get intimate with money. You need to really get comfortable with money. You need to really get comfortable with being on the phone with people, sitting in your value, communicating with people about your value, you guys going along in the conversation, right? Yes or no, getting them to a yes or no. You ready to move forward? You assessing, do you want to work with them? Them assessing, do they want to work with you? You being very intimate in this process, not running away from it and scared to say this or do that, and right? Intimate through this whole process. So boom, I say, let me know when it's done. She, okay, I just finished it. Refresh the page. Voila. Just like nothing in the account to like whatever 60, because PayPal takes their fee, like 64,000, whatever the amount was at the time. I mean, or 34,000, because she paid 35, whatever the amount, right? And we got off the phone, and I was, oh like, and then smooth, no drama around it. Like, I'm having buyer's remorse. I'm scared. Nothing, because your clients will be a reflection of your behavior. What's going on at a subconscious level? Your clients will be a reflection of that. There was no drama. The only thing she wanted to know was like, how do I talk to my husband about this? Because I know he's going to have something to say. That was her chief concern. How do I talk to my husband about this? Because I know that he is going to have something to say. So we had that conversation, and that was it. The next day, she paid the balance. I did a screenshot of the money in my bank account. I had spent some of it, but I took a screenshot of $55,000. That was 2015. That was a quantum leap. And the whole time, my brain was like, what are you doing? You've never even charged more than $10,000. That's a lot of money. You can't even afford that. You're still living with your mother. I think, yeah. Oh, yeah. Who do you think you are? That's being greedy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what your brain is going to do. So I'm telling you in advance. So when it does it, you're not surprised, and you can tame that hoe. You tame that hoe. You let her know this is where we're going. And the strength of your desire is going to be one of the ways you're going to tame that hoe. The strength of your desire is going to be one of the ways that you're going to tame that hoe. Okay? Because guess what? As you start to ascend financially, your brain going to be talking shit. It's going to be like that bully. Y'all ever been bullied? I was bullied. Oh my God. That girl, and you're going to need to tell that bitch, that's how you're going to need to do. If you are going to succeed over the long term, not just this month or this quarter or this year, but year after year after year after year, if that's your heart's desire. If you're going to succeed, you're going to have to learn how to tame your brain. If you're like me and you like big money and you like quantum leaps and you're not interested in baby steps and baby money and all that, you're going to have to learn how to tame your brain. Just accept that that's how she going to roll, and that you need to tame that hoe. Okay? And the intensity of your desire is one of the ways that you tame that hoe. All right? So this is how you start to normalize your new reality, because it's a real it's a real jolt in your energetic system to make a large amount of money very quickly. It's very, you might need to take a nap. That has happened to me. You need to take a nap, because it's like, first of all, you have been energizing this hot desire. It's been in your body, it's been in your mind, you've been focused on it, you've been looking at pictures of it. This is like a CrossFit workout. This is a CrossFit workout for the mind, right? And you've been focusing on it. You've been doing all this energetic work of expectation, taming your brain, working on your goals, having conversations with people, putting together your packages, managing your energy, doing things that are feeding you, letting go of things that are not feeding you. And then in that letting go, there's a dying, right? And in that dying, there's a decay, and there's a grief over the decay. Like, all of this is energy movement. Okay, all of this is energy movement. And you're having conversations with people, and then you're having disappointments, and you're learning the whole while. You're learning, oh, this works, this doesn't work. Oh, I like this, I don't like this. Oh, let's keep doing this. Oh, let's try this, let's add that. Like, all of this is energetic movement of things, and you're building up, and you're learning, and you're building up your muscle, your financial muscle. So when you finally do have the money come into your bank account, and you look at it, and you start thinking about everything you just did over the last 8 weeks, everything you just did over the last 3 months, 5 months, 6 months. And you're like, oh my God, I did this. Look at this. I did this. I did this. And you need to really acknowledge that. You don't hurry up and run on to Look at what I did. Look at what I did. Oh my God. You can do it. You did it. Look what you did. Oh my God. And then you send the money to the thing that it was for, right? Oh, my part of my goal was to buy the land in Ghana. Part of my thing was to live in Costa Rica. Part of my thing was to pay my mother's mortgage. Part of my thing was to lose 20 pounds. Part of my thing, and you look at where your money go, like what you were able to create in this quantum leap in 8 weeks. My course is 8 weeks. The premium expensive healer course is 8 weeks. Listen, if you already know this is for you, contact me, whether it's through DM or email, and let me know that you're ready to sign up. The course is $2,000. You can split the payment into two, so you pay $1,100 today. You pay the other $1,100 30 days from today. But if you are wanting to create what I've just talked about in this video, I mean, what else you gonna do? I mean, listen. Yes, you can do it by yourself. If your question to me is, can I do it by myself? The answer is yes. You absolutely can do it by yourself. Do you want to? Is it likely, right? Is it likely that you will create $50,000 in the next 8 weeks selling your witchy transformational services? Keep in mind, I'm talking about through your services. I help witches, healers, coaches, mentors, and other supernatural beings highly monetize their work. So that's who I'm talking about right now. Like, there's other ways you can do it, but if it's important to you to be able to take what you have, what's in your lived experience, package it, and serve your ideal clients, then this expensive healer course is for you. So I don't want you to delay. I think we have about 6 spots left. The course starts next Wednesday, which is September 15th. Again, it's $2,000. You can split that into two. You need to either email me or DM me if you'd like to sign up for this course, okay? So that's the process. You can go back and look at the replay, write it down to understand the anatomy of a quantum leap. And so I'm somebody who loves quantum leaps. I like big results fast, and I know the energy game required to be able to even withstand having large things, because the ego loves to talk shit. Niggas love to be like, girl, I'm doing 6 feet. Girl, people love to be like they're making all this money. But when it's time to actually have it in their bank account, when it's time to actually be with the energy of it, when it's time to actually command the value of what you offer, people get all wobbly and so if you want to really, this is an energy game. Right? Like, yes, we're doing all this practical business stuff, but this is an energy game, baby. You learn masterful energy management when you work inside the arrogant witch community. Okay. So then you become a true bad bitch, if you even call yourself that. All right, let me look at these comments real quick. Somebody said, how do I go about being in the family community if I'm low on cash right now? How would you answer that? How would you answer that? What do you think is the best thing for you to do? All right, Andrea said, let's go. Crystal said, I deserve more. Yes, I need more help with this. Unique said, I need more help with this because I am tired of not having steady and sustainable income. Yes, darling. So this is good. You're very welcome. All right. Correction 5,000. Okay, Tanya. Very good. Start at $5,000 a month. Very good for natural hair, massage and Reiki services, then spread to making my product. Very good. Don't delay. Like, any questions you have about the course, you can send them to me, but don't delay on the course. We start next Wednesday, September 15th. So let's get into it. You're very welcome, Thinking Straight. Oh, you're very welcome. Hey, who's your wife? You're welcome. You're welcome. Queen, hey, Queen Superior K, Uber Herbal Medicine Girl. I'm telling you, we need y'all so bad. I'm telling you. Can one of y'all please figure out how to get rid of high blood pressure forever? Please, one of y'all, somebody. What healer is going to find out the way to get rid of high blood pressure forever? And then like the video, please. Like the video, like the video, like the video. You know, it helps. So who was that who said, so Tanya and Unique, y'all need to sign up for the course. Let me see who else is on here. Yeah, y'all need to sign up for the course. I'm doing a training this Wednesday, and I know we're gonna have some people sign up from that. And so you can send an email or you can DM me here. All right, we're done here. So I'm here every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern here on the Arrogant Witch YouTube show. Please share this video, like the video, and all those things that helps us keep this thing growing. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you next week.